Hello, this is Sam Simon, also known as Dementia Man. You notice I have a new background because the book is out. I know we've talked about this before, but it is the perfect book. And I know this is for the Christmas and Hanukkah, the last week of Hanukkah too. It's not too late. I just discovered something. It's possible to gift a Kindle download. I didn't know that. I just know how to do it on Amazon. But if well, I'm going to even show you the page here, I think. So, well, I'll tell you what, let me not. Just go to Amazon.com and look, gift a Kindle or Google Kindle, how to give a Kindle gift. And it'll show you how to do that. Or give it as your own gift. It's doing really well. And we really getting great feedback. And I hope it's a meaningful gift for you or anyone else who may have um, cognitive decline, somebody in your life, or if you've gone through it before, or someone else is. Um, and it's also autobiographical and has some funny things in it. At least I think they're funny. Um, but what I wanted to focus on a little differently today, um, and keep this relatively brief. It is still, Christmas is coming up this week, and then there is, we'll get to the last night of Hanukkah this coming week. And I was wondering myself whether there was some good advice out there on how to celebrate if there is someone in your life um, with a cognitive disorder, whether it's Alzheimer's or Lewy body or any other cognitive. Is there good advice on structuring your celebration so that, again, it's good for everybody and to be inclusive of the one you love? Um, so let me go here for a moment and um, where's the first place you go to ask for good advice? Well, I ask our friends um, in AI. Actually, I go to Copilot. My favorite, just so you know, it works well for me, is Copilot, the Microsoft app, and I think they give some good citations. These are from Alzheimer's Association and others about how to it's called a dementia-friendly holiday. I think this might be useful. I'll try to keep it short. You could do the same thing for yourself. Um, and I think, again, some of this is really good. I appreciate it. Um, adjust expectations, let go of the how it used to be. We've always done it this way. We got to keep doing it. Um, you can still do it well, and you need to do it in light of the reality of the moment, and that's who's there. Um, involve the person with the cognitive disorder as much as you can in simple, familiar activities. If you're getting ready for a dinner or an event, folding napkins, they suggest. If you're um, making a cake, and I smile because I can remember growing up in my home. Um, it's called Grandma Alfman's cake. Um, side a side movement here. My grandmother was um, his last name was Hoffman, and she used to bake a cake, and then my mother always baked it for us, Grandma Hoffman's cake, and it was so familiar. And I remember even today we do it. My daughter knows more than my wife, but for big celebrations, we always have my Grandma Hoffman cake. So find things maybe, And I remember as a kid stirring the batter. Okay, that's what was triggered. Always stir and then licking the batter was always fun. Um, Placing non-breakable ornaments is another suggestion. Listening to familiar music. That's good for Hanukkah or Christmas. You don't have trees for Hanukkah, but I'm not sure you want people lighting the candles. Who you have to be careful with that. But holiday music, and then looking through photo albums at the time and memories might be helpful. And then things to be careful of, avoid loud music, flashing lights, crowded rooms. Try to keep things fairly quiet. Um, and you can still have guests, but make sure they know that someone there may need to be treated a little differently, what to expect, and how best to communicate. Um, and then I hadn't thought of this, adapt gift giving, choose practical, comfortable gifts, soft blankets, simple puzzles. You can go to dementiaman.com and download some simple puzzles, especially for people with the disease. Um, so those are some of the suggestions. And the yes anding, if there's confusion, always accept um, what is they think the person with the disease thinks or says is happening, and add information to it, clarify it. So those are good things to keep in mind, and still celebrate and enjoy the holidays. Um, just making it as joyous as possible and as inclusive as possible for everybody. And perhaps still the most important thing to remember is the yes ending. If the person's cognitive decline is sufficient that they're confused and they think they're somewhere else, you yes and it. Yes, and it is still Christmas. Or if they say it's not Christmas, say, yeah, it's not that Christmas, it's this party, whatever helps. And don't deprive yourself. It may be an opportunity to have your loved one have a visit to an adult daycare visit while you have your big party, and big, loud, and boisterous party. Um, so I'm Jewish, and I'll share what was my. We still done it a little bit actually. Uh, my favorite thing around Christmas as a in our Jewish family was to drive with our family around town looking at Christmas decorations in the car. And in the car, we would have me and maybe three or four of my sisters, or my mother and father, or my mother on the driver's side, my mother on um, the passenger side, my dad on the driver's side, the front seat, and then three or four of us in the back, divided maybe two to each side. And we'd have contests counting Christmas trees. And who was going to count the most Christmas trees? Susan and I occasionally do that. And I am reminded early on in my cognitive journey decline, we were doing just that on a Christmas Eve. And we drove up to an intersection. And all of a sudden I asked Susan, where are we? It was one of the signs. All of a sudden, just it all became a blur, and I didn't remember where I was on the road. I mean, I knew I was at a stop sign, but I didn't know where I was any longer. And that was one of the signs that I needed to seek help. And it doesn't happen every time, and I'm now on medicines. Um, so find as much joy as we can in this moment and in these moments. It's challenging for all sorts of reasons in the world, but yet there is hope, there is love. Love more than anything else. Letting the person with the disease know they're loved. And for those of us with the disease, if you're listening to this, letting those who care for us know they're loved and to have the best time possible. So happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate, Merry Christmas to those who celebrate, and finding joy and meaning in life as a caregiver or as or a love partner, or even when you have the disease. I'll come back again. Life with this disease is worth living. And I want to continue to be as joyful as I can, keep striving to be the one who may, if I don't beat it, is the outlier, the one who lasts longer, maybe the only one who lasts longest. So that's my wish for this holiday and future holidays, and wishing you and yours the happiest of the celebrations and the best possible year forward. We'll still have a New Year's uh, um, blog coming up. I have special things for the New Year's blog. So stay tuned and thank you for listening.